His goal is certainly one way of putting it. That's actually what we're going to be talking about today.
That is true. An intriguing Western and a pair of classic horror films are on area screens this week. So,
Professor Koplinski.
Professor Koplinski.
Yeah,
well,
we've upgraded you today.
I have not earned that, but I'll take it. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Film critic.
Yeah, that's good enough. Good enough.
What are we talking about?
The Sisters Brothers. We'll start there.
Yeah, kind of a confusing title.
Yeah.
Yeah, but their last name, these two guys, their last name is Sisters.
Okay.
Played by Joaquin Phoenix and John C. Reilly. And there you see Joaquin Phoenix. They basically are hitmen in the Old West. They work for this guy called the Commodore, who is this industrialist. And whenever the Commodore has a problem or an enemy, he sends the Sisters Brothers out to clean up things, take care of business. And the first scene the first scene we see them doing that, and it's actually quite grisly. The Phoenix character, he loves this. He's a drunk. He loves the reputation that he has built upon this, and it goes ahead of him. The Riley character, the older guy, he wants to retire. He wants to hang up his guns. But they have one last job, of course, to do as these things work out, and they're after Jake Gyllenhaal. Jake Gyllenhaal is a guy who also works for the Commodore, and he has tracked down this gentleman who has a solution, he claims, in which you pour this solution into the river in California at night and all the gold lights up. And all you have to do is go out and pick up the pieces. They're not quite sure if this guy's full of it or not, whether this works or not, but they're not going to take the chance. And they end up getting him, and well, things change. Suddenly they realize that maybe hanging with this guy is more profitable than working for the Commodore. And things get very complicated at this point. It's an odd film because it's very long. It's 2 hours. And it could have been short by about 20 minutes, and I think it would have helped things out considerably. And the other odd thing is that this is really a psychological study about these two brothers more than anything. It's masquerading as a Western with all the Western tropes that we're used to, but really it's about these two guys who have been damaged in their youth by an abusive father and how they've both decided to deal with it, or in some cases not deal with it. You know, with these three guys on board, obviously the acting's great, very professional. And if you're watching this clip, you see the period details are fantastic. I really felt as though I was back there, according to all the pictures I've seen of this era. They get that stuff right. So despite the length, I really did like this movie because it's an immersive experience, and these three guys are great. Yeah,
great cast.
Yeah.
So did this one kind of fly under the radar?
It flew under the radar, and it hit the film festivals, but now they're having it out at the end of the year, hoping to get some sort of awards recognition, because this thing cost John C. Reilly, who produced this, $40 million. Whoa. And I think it's cleared less than $2 million at the box office.
So he's got to make up for some of that.
So we're hoping for an awards, and we're hoping maybe it'll be good in Europe.
Fingers crossed, right?
Yeah, those Westerns, they don't sell the way they used to.
Yeah, that's for sure. But there's some fun things that people can take advantage of this weekend.
I'm a big geek about the old horror films.
Cool.
This is really cool. I grew up on the old Universal horror films, and the Normal Theater is running a double feature on Sunday afternoon and on Wednesday night, Halloween night. Oh, there's one. One name stands out as the epitome of evil.
Evil.
Chuck Koplinski, Aaron Eads is the... No, it's Dracula, the epitome of evil. There he is.
Could have been either of us.
Yes, exactly. Yes, they're running the original Dracula as well as the original Mummy at the Normal Theater. 1 o'clock Sunday and then 7 o'clock on Wednesday, Halloween night. And if you haven't seen these in a long time, see them, but also drag your kids. Drag your grandkids. Get them revealed to these classics.
Is that the one with Bela Lugosi?
Bela Lugosi, the epitome, still considered the greatest of all Draculas. And the thing I loved about these old films was the atmosphere. No, they're not as graphic as the movies we have today. They're not as violent, but the atmosphere, the creepiness that they were able to create just gets under your skin, and for me, they still work.
And they're great actors despite not, I mean, you know, I feel like a lot of the times they hide the acting with all the blood and gore when, you know, this is the real deal.
They had to convey that.
Yeah.
And I can totally attest to that. I've seen Dracula, I think, once a few years ago. Definitely worth watching. It wasn't his accent that inspired the Dracula trope of "I want to suck your blood." It was him.
It was totally him, and he originated that role on Broadway.
Really?
And he was from Europe, and yeah, that accent was not fake. That was him. And then, of course, The Mummy here with Boris Karloff, one of the great makeup jobs in all film history. Yes. Just great stuff. And like I say, expose your kids to this stuff because they don't know what they're missing.
So at the Normal Theater, are these double features?
Yeah, double features. Just pay once, you sit through both.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
How fun.
All right, so that's what's going on this weekend. Let's talk about the elephant. The
orange elephant. Yeah, Pam and I, we've had. Oh, and by the way, Pam says hello from Puerto Rico.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
I think she's doing okay.
Yeah, it's a horrible existence. But Pam and I have had a giveaway on the Real Talk with Chuck and Pam thing on Facebook for Halloween, and the winner is Heather Huffman.
Heather Huffman.
Heather Huffman.
There are 4 horror films in here, some candy, some popcorn. Come by the station and pick this thing up.
Everything you need for a wonderful movie night.
Ready for Wednesday.
Yeah.
All right, very good.
That. And if you are wanting to check in, anything new and exciting happening with Real Talk?
We're going to be posting a couple interviews. The Chicago International Film Festival was a couple weeks ago, and we got to sit down with Joel Edgerton, who is coming out with a movie called Boy Erased, and a couple other people. So we're going to be posting some interviews there, and we'll have them here on WCIA too.
Give them a like.
Good. Well, we will be right back with more of The Morning Show.
Stick with us. Thanks, Chuck.